Hey everybody, welcome into Thrift Chronicles. We have another amazing, great episode. I'm your host, Johnny O, with my other host, partner in crime.
Games by Omar. What's up, everybody?
So Omar, I know it's been a hectic week for us. I know, like we were discussing off air, you got some good sales, and I know you put me on the TikTok shop. But let's get right into it. I'm gonna talk about the TikTok shop, bro. I'm still trying to figure this out. I know I called you the other day how to figure it out. I know you explained some stuff to me, but I don't know. I still can't get it. I haven't got no sales. I'm not really getting views like that. I know you told me to use the AI. It's kind of frustrating, but I don't know. Like I just haven't been focusing that much on it because I know we've been like on the last episode. We're on a lot of platforms, so I don't know how you're able to deal with it. And I see you have about 30 listings on there.
Yeah, it's the same for me. Like I'm getting views, it hasn't really translated into any sales yet. I mean, I'm fresh in the game. I really kind of just started this like about a week ago, and I did slow down over the last couple days. I didn't really put anything, so this upcoming weekend, I know I'm gonna put a little bit more effort. I think it's one of those things that it's gonna take time to build. The hashtags. I mean, anything social media related, there's like so many little things that you kind of have to do to get it out there. So no sales yet on TikTok shop, but it's just one of the other things that, I really plan to grow this month, man, and maybe grow it all of this month so that next month, you can start seeing the actual sales come in.
Yeah, I agree. I think too. Also, if we probably put in the time to build it for this month or next month, I think next month will probably work. Just because we discussed last episode, holiday sales are going to be coming in and Black Friday and all that. A lot of people are going to want to get some good deals on TikTok because I noticed TikTok, and I know you noticed it too. They give a lot of people coupons and all these deals to get these cups for items for like really, really cheap. And I think my wife ordered something on TikTok the other day. She got it for like fairly cheap because she used the coupons, and I know they usually do the free shipping and stuff like that. But I do agree though. I think maybe we put the time and build it up like how you build up your whatnot shows. We'll be able to get some sales because I want to get some sales on there. I want to try that platform because I hear stories that people they make really really good money off of TikTok Shop and they're able to live pretty comfortable being a reseller or just being making handmade stuff and set.
Absolutely, man. And yeah, I mean, it's, everything's a process, bro. And I'm thinking it can work out. And, I mean, really, it's just only time will tell. I do like it. One thing you mentioned that I kind of, I'm a little curious about, they sent out these coupons. I wonder, are the sellers still getting a full price? Cause, they kind of just put the coupons out there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's like, hold up, 50% off. Like I didn't authorize all of that, but, uh, you know, that's one of those things that I guess, I'll figure it out when I get there, or, I'll probably do a little research and see. But I did notice that as well, that, when you click on your listings, from obviously like outside, um, it automatically is just giving like 50% off, which is enticing, of course, but like I have, I think, a game up there that's 120. So, if they're
Oh,
doing that,
yeah.
if it's $60, I mean, and I'm only gonna get 60 minus whatever fees. I'm like, hold up, I didn't really say nothing about that. So yeah, that's definitely something to look at, man. I think, we can definitely mess around with it this month. It's still early in the month. Probably by Black Friday, like you said, maybe if it's built up, then, people can see, because everything is about getting eyes on it, man. People can't buy what they can't see. So, as long as the eyes are on it, we could build that up this month. By the end of the month, beginning of December, maybe we can start killing it. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. The only thing I don't like is about TikTok is I don't know if you got it, but I know I just got one the other day. Because you can't really tell if the people's what is it counts are real or not. Like I really can't really tell sometimes, even though if they have a lot of videos or followers or stuff like that. I know sometimes you can tell if they don't have any posts. But I know someone had reached out to me the other day. I posted up that Thriller tumbler cup that I just recently made, and they're talking about, hey, I love your cup, but do you have any available, or would you like to, or where can I order it? I'm like, you can order it on TikTok Shop. Like, where else can you order it at? But then the thing is, too, I had that situation a couple months ago, and I don't know if I told you, where the person was trying to get two cups made, and then I ended up finding out it was one of those people where they like sell you "Hey, give me your information. I'll send you the money. You let me know if you got it," and blah, blah, blah. And I already knew it was a scam. So then I was just like, "Hey, like, I never got your money," because Chase had alert me and said that I'm not able to authorize this because my account wasn't a business account or something like that. But then too, I kind of was skeptical about it too because I was like, "Nah, I'm not trying to get my account closed because somebody is so ignorant that wants to send me money." And then, my account gets closed and then I get affected.
Yeah, and that's one thing. So I've realized, man, especially when you're new on an app, the scammers know when you're new. One of the big ones, I haven't had that on TikTok yet, but on Poshmark, I'm not necessarily new, but I don't sell anything on Poshmark, you know.
Yeah, me either. I agree with you. I don't do either.
And I mean, I do cross listing um through an app. Basically stuff that I put on it, whenever I put something on eBay or one of the other apps, I could just put it on Poshmark. So I do that just because, and a lot of times I'll get, hey, your item has sold, please click the link and blah blah, but it's like really not a sale. But because they see that, okay, this guy's been here for a short amount of time, he has no sales data, they kind of think you fall for that type of stuff. There's a lot of, for sellers that are listening to this, you're new in the game, you sign up for a new app. I know it happens a lot to people on Whatnot. eBay kind of cracks down on it pretty good. Facebook for a long time, they cleaned it up, but Facebook Marketplace was like that for a while as well. But, just be wary of like links and this and that. If someone is on an app and they can buy something on an app and they're trying to buy it on another app or another link, or don't even deal with it. Don't even deal with it. So yeah, I know TikTok has a notorious reputation for stuff like that. I haven't experienced it yet, but I'm sure as I progress and I start posting more and all that, I'll probably get that probably today. I'm like, yep, see, that's what we were talking about. But it happens, man, and we just, the thing about it, we're seasoned enough that we kind of get it. But those newer sellers that aren't as seasoned, they may fall for that. So that's definitely something to look out. That's a good point, bro.
Yeah, and like you said about Facebook, I think they did clean it up because I was having that issue for a while too on Facebook Marketplace where I was having people hit me up talking about I want to buy something and then they weren't, and then I would look at their account and they would be like in China or wouldn't even exist, and I'm like no, or they'll constantly tell me like you said they'll send a link and say hey click on this and wada wada and or hey I sent you the money and I'm like what? And then sometimes it's like the smallest little thing that like, okay, you're not really gonna pay $2, $3 for that, so it'd be like that because these people out here, they try to scam a lot of, like you said, a lot of newbies on these sites and stuff like that that are just trying to get sales. So they figure, oh, let me do this because, like you said, they're gonna fall for it. But like how you said, we're seasoned. A lot of other people are seasoned, but the people that are coming in the game trying to learn this stuff, they just got to be highly aware of that because anybody's trying to do whatever they can to get a damn buck and screw someone over.
Absolutely, man. It's sad that it's like that, bro. But at the end of the day, that's wherever there's opportunity to make money, there's opportunity for someone to be doing the wrong thing to make money. So, that's definitely something that, as all sellers, we really need to pay attention and kind of be vigilant about, especially on newer apps. But yeah, man, other than that, I think for me, I mean, I got some pretty good sales yesterday. I sold a PS3 for about 85 to a guy, and that was on Facebook Marketplace, so that was cash. I love cash, man. Cash is king, you
Right?
know. Cash is king. I will take that over shipping something any day.
Right? It's
So
quicker. It's in hand.
it's in hand, and this dude, we've been talking back and forth for a while. I always get the people, hi, is it available? And, this guy had messaged me, I think on Monday. He said he was gonna come on Thursday, but people say stuff all the time, so I take everything with a grain of salt. But Thursday morning, he hit me up like, "Hey man, can I have the address?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm coming. It's a little far. I'm coming from 2 hours away." I'm like, and to me, a lot of times that stuff is kind of weird because I'm like, bro, there ain't a PS3 over there. But I mean, I'm always grateful for the sale. He did speak to me, and the reason why he wanted mine in particular, and like I said, I always kind of go through stuff because I don't want those returns. I don't want those, hey, it doesn't work. I don't. So I try to be as thorough as possible. So on the listing, I said, hey, this one has a new battery because you got to open it up to change the battery. And then since I opened it up, I disassembled it. I put new thermal paste and stuff like that. So he said like stuff like that caught his eye because the likelihood of it failing is pretty low because I did all the work already. And technology fails. It happens. But just buying some random one that hasn't been cleaned out or hasn't been, anything versus buying one that's been worked on, he found the value in that. So he bought it. He didn't try to lowball me. I just tossed him an extra controller because he seemed like a good dude. And then he actually hit me up that he has a PS4 that works, but it needs a little bit of work. And he'll sell to me cheap next time he's in town because he doesn't use it. So, that's a sale plus a potential purchase that I could turn around and fix up and then sell to something else. So that was a good start to the day. And then towards the end of the day, I got some money from one of the stores as well. I think they sold me I sent me about like 90 something bucks. So it was overall a good day. And then some odds and ends, it ended up being like a $200 day, which, is decent. It's good. It's good money for me. So I was happy about that with minimal effort. Like, it wasn't money that I was really like slaving away to get. It was just one meetup with a guy and then the other one, the money was just sent to the account. So I love days like that. That's my favorite kind of day. And I'm hoping, today will be the exact same day, man. God willing.
Yeah, I know. Those are the best days, like the days you're talking about. Those are the days that you want where you don't have to try as hard, where you're like, okay, cool, this makes this easy. $200. You don't really gotta go nowhere. They come to you. Those days are very blessing. So, I'm glad that you were able to do that and make your money, and hopefully you could get something like that to finish out the week positive. For me, I didn't really get too much sales on eBay. I think I probably got maybe like 10, but there's just little tiny sales, a couple of VHSs in there, but it was mostly the same people that buy a bunch of stuff from my store. So I bundled everything. So they probably approximately bought maybe like 15 to like 10 VHSs each. And then I cleaned up some inventory on my shelf, to make more room for the cups that I already had made for the tumbler. So I've been practicing on that. Put a couple of those cups on the side. I've just been posting those. I have some people that were interested. They just haven't paid me yet. I have someone coming today to buy the when they get off of work, the Donnie Darko tumbler that I just recently made.
Nice.
And then I know I made a new cup last night. I'm probably gonna post it later today. It's Halloween. Well, Macaulay Culkin. I mean Halloween. My bad. Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin, because how Christmas is coming. Like how we said, people are gonna want those sales. And then also I want to be able to do some Christmas tumbler cups to also throw on my store, and then obviously throw out here on my block to sell to see whoever is interested in buying these cups, just to showcase it. I just putting my hand in everything like how we discussed, so I can kind of like perfect it. But as for that, yeah, it's been kind of slow, like how we discussed last episode. But I think today when I post, because like I was telling you, every Friday, I spend all Friday just cleaning up inventory and listing on eBay. So I'm gonna be doing that today and try to clear out some more inventory. And then maybe if I have time, I might go out and get some product, but I don't think I need any more. I think as in product, I just need to get clothes, because like I was telling you a couple days ago, I already listed all the clothes that I had left over from my thousand pound bale that I purchased like 4 months ago. So I finally
Man.
listed all that. Um, the only thing I have left is just VHS. So I'll probably want to go one of these weekends, or probably tomorrow or something like that. Go somewhere where I can get some new clothes and put those up in, because the holidays is coming. So I want to be able to have even more inventory so I can hear that ding on eBay, get them sales. Not the good dings, not the bad dings where I got to refund somebody.
Yeah, you don't want none of those, man. And it's,
So,
it's a whole, one is a ding and one is a cha-ching, bro.
yeah.
And and it's like the difference is because whenever I hear that little whatever that noise is, I'm like, oh man, it's usually either advertisement or somebody's messaging you about something. So it's like that's annoying.
Yeah, and I hate when I get that, because I'd be like, I'll be out and about and I'll hear the one that does the message, and I'll be like, I'll be with my wife and I'm like, dang. She's like, what? I go, man, I probably got to refund somebody, or somebody's complaining. And then I look, and half of the time, like you said, it is something that's like getting promoted, but
Yeah,
majority it is someone complaining like, "Hey, what's up? Like, are you gonna ship it?" Like, someone hit me up the other day, "Hey, are you gonna ship?" It was yesterday. I got a I got a ding yesterday, and they were like, "Hey, are you gonna ship my Exit Wounds VHS?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro, I'm gonna do it today." I'm kind of like, to be honest, like I'm currently looking for it. Like I had to find it, and like how we said previous episodes, like you don't want to list something and then you sell it and then you find out you don't have it. So I was in that situation yesterday. Like, I
Man,
know I have this movie. I know I should have two copies because I sold two this week. So I was like, "Where's the other one?" So that's why yesterday I had to go through it, and then he actually messaged me and was like, "Hey, are you gonna mail it?" But I ended up finding him like, "Hey, I found it. I'm gonna ship it out today." All right, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. Because I'm like, I don't want to refund you, even though it's only gonna be I think 250. I sold them for the VHS, but still, I'm not trying to refund nobody. I'm trying to get the sale and clear out just to get that sale.
man, and I know that feeling, bro. For me, it's usually like I go put something in one of these stores and I forget to delist it, and then boom, somebody buys it. And it's an hour drive, hour and change, depending on traffic, either way. So a lot of times it's like, man, if I don't got an extra, I'll either try to buy one or I might just cancel it or whatever the case may be. I don't like canceling. So usually I try to find, something in my local game store that I could just send them and then keep it like that. But I know that feeling, man, when you searching and, you don't know if it's there or anything like that. So I definitely I understand that. I need to myself, I need to kind of clean things up, man, because it's been getting kind of crazy over here. And things are mixing together where they shouldn't mix together inventory wise. So, I need to kind of clean the space up and find something. There's a lot that I seen Facebook Marketplace. I saw it yesterday, and I didn't hit them up because it didn't look appealing when I first looked at it. And it was just a bunch of consoles, untested. Untested in the video game world is a very scary word, because people, I mean, with anything else, what happens when people put untested, it usually means that they tested it, don't work.
Yeah.
So I was a little, hesitant, so I didn't message him. But then I was looking at it, and I'm like, man, I could probably take the risk on it. And but it's listed as pending since last night. So I actually hit them up, like, hey, if your buyer, doesn't show up, I'm interested. But I haven't got anything back, so I don't know. And this is a profile that's really not like super active. Like they don't have a lot of stuff posted. It literally just looks like somebody who found some stuff probably in their garage or whatever, and then they're gonna start posting it. So that was another reason why it actually made me more interested, because that actually might mean that it's untested. If you see a profile with a bunch of games, a bunch of, this and that, and then they have like 50 PlayStations on there, but then they got a group of other games with a PlayStation in there and says it's untested, that means it don't work.
Well, at least you told me that, because sometimes I'd be seeing stuff on Facebook Marketplace like that, and then or offer up, and I'd be like, "Dang, that's a good deal. Does it really work?" And that's why sometimes I do send stuff to you to ask you, like, "Hey, is this a good deal?" Or, "Hey, like, what do you think, Omar?" And I know you'll tell me like, "Nah, that's not. Yeah, you should jump on it." Or, like, "I don't know, it's up to you." And I'm like, "All right, cool." But now that I know when it's untested, I should know that now that you're putting me on game on that. Half of the time, it doesn't really work.
Yeah, it's tricky, man. And the only reason why I kind of changed my mind on it is because I would only need, like, all right, so there's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. There's nine consoles in there, and nothing crazy. It's just like Xbox. There's a couple Wii's, PS's, a slim PS2, regular PS2, bunch of stuff like that, controllers and all that. But out of those nine consoles, I only need like three of those to work to turn a profit.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of like my thought process. Preferably not the Wii's. I don't care if the Wii's work, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like those, I don't care if those work. Those, it's whatever. But, I obviously just sold the PS3 that looks just like that yesterday. For 85. So it's like if I could save that one, that's another 85, $80, right in the pocket. PS2s will always sell. Xbox One, maybe not, but Xbox 360s definitely sell. So I mean, there's some money there. And it's right in my neighborhood. She hasn't read the message. I might be too late since it's already pending. Maybe it it's already sold. She forgot to change it. Who knows? I kind of put it in her ear like, listen, it's been pending since yesterday. Hey, if they don't show up, I'm right here, cash in hand.
Yeah, but half of the time when they have them in pending, like, and you're over here messaging the individual, half of the time the other individual they're pending it for, or they're holding it for, they don't even half the time they don't show up. So it's
That's what
like
I'm saying.
you could have been like, hey, look, this person could have said, hey, I'm pulling up at 2, but you're right here, like, hey, I understand he's coming at 2, but like I'm literally right here. And then what happens is I know it happens with me where I'll have a situation like that. They're like, "Oh, well, they're supposed to come. All right, cool." And then let's just say later on in the day you're doing something else, and I've done that with me where I'm doing something else, and then they hit me. They're like, "Hey, the guy didn't come. Are you still interested?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, but I was interested maybe like 4 hours ago when I told you that he wasn't gonna come. Like, I
Bro,
would have just gave you the money."
that exact situation happened yesterday. I had a guy that was messaging me. I don't know what it is. I know if you follow like video game news, there's a lot of stuff going on with Xbox right now. They're kind of, you don't know if they're in, you don't know if they're out. They've been losing the console wars and, like they sent Halo over to PlayStation. It's been a whole
Yeah, I
thing.
heard that. Yeah, I heard about that.
So Halo stuff, um, primarily OG Xbox and Xbox 360 has been selling for me way more frequently than it has been. So, like, I think it was like 2 weeks ago in my store, someone bought like basically all the Halo copies I had in there. And then I have this game, Halo ODST, and everybody's been blowing me up. So I had a guy yesterday, or actually, this has been since earlier in the week, and he's like, look, man, I want to buy all the copies that you have. How many do you have? What's the condition? Blah, blah. So we're like negotiating some stuff. And he said yesterday that he was trying to come pick it up. So I said, hey, man, all right, bet, bro. Like, I'm free between 4 and 6. He's like, all right, man, I'm gonna hit you up around like 3:30, blah, blah, whatever. Maybe I want to say 3:15, another dude hits me up and he's like, hey man, I want to buy this like today. And I'm like, listen, boss, I got a guy that's gonna come. If he don't buy it, you know, I'll hit you up. He said, hey man, look, I'll give you $20 for it. But and I was like, man, but I like to be a man of my word. We
Yeah.
already, we already, negotiated. We already talked about him buying it. Bro, he didn't even show. So now I hit the guy up, but because it's not yesterday, he like, all right, man, but I want it for the regular price, which I'm fine with. I'm cool with that, but I could have made $20 yesterday. If I really, but see, that's the thing, you don't really know. And that's the part that, when you do holds or when negotiate stuff for people and they don't show up, it's crazy, man. Cause I'm like, there's other people hitting me up about this stuff. And, the thing is for me, time is valuable. So, you set aside a time to wait for somebody, they may not show, things of that nature happen all the time. So it's like a tricky situation. That's actually why I really got into like putting games in the stores because people are, is it available? When I want to pick up at this time, like you could pick it up between 12 and 8, bro. Whatever time you want to go, just go.
Yeah, just pull up to the store because I won't be there, but someone will be there to
Hey,
help you.
you're gonna meet me there? Nah, man. Just ask for Games by Omar's case, and they'll take care of you, bro. Don't even trip, cash or card.
Right? I take credit too. It don't matter.
It don't
Shoot.
matter, bro. But it's like, so that's what really propelled me because those situations, I could have really just made way more money just because that guy really wanted it at that time. But just because I was waiting for old boy who didn't even show, it's like now. So he's supposedly today.
Well, we'll see today. You'll let me know by today. You'll text me or you'll let me know in the next episode that he came, and we'll see. Because I understand your pain there. But see, with me, I've had it where someone say they're gonna show, and I got somewhere to go, and I have someone outside waiting for this individual with the product in hand, and then they tell me, hey, like matter of fact, it'd be my brother-in-law. He'd be like, I'll be like, yeah, I have someone coming, but I gotta go do this and that. They're supposed to come at this time. And he goes, okay, and I'll tell them on Messenger or offer up like, hey, my brother-in-law's gonna be outside on the front porch. He'll have your product. Just give him the money. Okay, I'll be there like 5 o'clock per se. But all right,
Yeah.
cool. And it was crazy. I had it one time where it was like I came after 5 and I'm like, "Hold on." I look at my brother, I'm like, "He never came? No, he never came." And then I'm writing them and then they can ignore you and then they're just and then they'll write you the next day, "I wasn't able to pick it up. Sorry. Something came up." And I'm like, "So you couldn't tell me that? I had someone actually outside sitting for 2, 3 hours waiting for you for $10."
That is exactly my point, man. That is unfortunately it's like that. And that is the sole reason for me having the stores that I sell into, bro. Because, the Facebook marketplace offer up, like that type of stuff works really well when it works. But the one thing is you can't predict is other people, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I've had people that I'm like, this dude ain't gonna show, but he shows. And then I've had like, oh yeah, for sure he's coming. That dude doesn't come. It's one of those, it's and you end up like, you end up wasting time, like you said, bro. And at the end of the day, that's time that could be used on so many other things. And then
Exactly.
when it's like $10 and it works out, that's a win. But if it's $10 and you wasted like an hour and nothing happens, it's like, man, like I like legitimately just wasted an hour and I didn't even get that $10.
Yeah, or you were looking forward for that $10 because you probably want to use it to buy, let's just say, more inventory at a yard sale or at a thrift store or I don't know, like a pawn shop, anywhere that, you found a good deal and that $10 would have came in handy.
Exactly, man, and that's the thing. So, it's just what you deal with as a seller. That's the seller life, man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and it kind of goes like that. But I try my hardest to try to like that's why I really set like time boundaries. Like I either say between this time and that time, or between this and that, just because people will be like, "Are you available all day?" And I'm like, "No." Like, 'cause, yeah, we're not doing that all day. I'm gonna come whenever I want to. No, bro. Like, hey, I'm available between 4 and 6, or I'm available between 10 and 2. And we could, do something, or I always tell people, like, listen, man, like, message me when you are ready to come. I will send you the address. Because I send the address out, and they people don't show up, and 50 people got your address.
Yeah, I know. And then they all pull up and you're like, hold on, what's going on here?
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I mean? But no, I feel you when you give them the address because I know I feel the same way too because you'll give them the address. I've given people where they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna come right now," and I'll give them the address, and then they don't come at all. Or I'll give them the address, and then they'll be like, "Never mind." I'm like, "What you mean?" "Oh, you live too far." I'm like, "Bro, I live in Riverside. You live in Corona. That's damn near 15 minutes."
Yeah. And that's one thing, for me being a person that, I sell one thing, I don't really like too many people having the address, especially if you ain't even wasn't, trying to come anyway, because,
Yeah.
I have tons of inventory here.
Mhm.
So that's another reason why, the whole, store situation just works out a little better at times. Cause, I don't got to worry about any of that, man. I just send them right there. Cause it definitely, I've had a lot of time wasted with people not showing up, or, all that type of stuff. And, you're going back and forth for no reason. And it's, it can definitely be taxing, especially on the days where you need that sale,
Yep.
because there's days where, you sell, like, okay, perfect example, like yesterday that happened, and I was like, it is what it is. And I'd already made my money, so, for the day I'm chilling. If it was a day where I'm not getting any sales and that happened, it's a little disheartening because I'm like, man, that was that one sale that I really needed for the day to get that sale. And it's just it goes back to like we can't predict the other person, man. You can try your best to be there for the customer, but the customer may not be there for you sometimes. And it just happens to work out that way. But I mean, at the end of the day, more times than not, you'll get that sale, whether it's in person or online, either way. So there's more than one way to do something.
Yeah, but the best way is like is the cash way.
Cash money.
Right in hand. Like, hey, got this cash right here. Then you got that cash. You be like, "What you need, kiddos? We going to 7-Eleven? Where we going? Dairy Queen? I got this money right here. Daddy got money now."
Yeah, it's no eBay, no whatnot, no anything coming for their 10, 12, 15%, whatever it is. No bubble wrap, no boxing, no going to the post office and potentially having them run over your package.
Oh, yeah, I know it's easy transaction. Just here you go.
Transaction, man, just give it to them. That is my favorite. That's another reason why the pop-ups work as well, man. The pop-up events for sellers, if you can get a cheap table and, it's a crowded event, that's a good way for you to make some money. Most people are carrying cash. If not, you just get you a little debit card reader and all of that, and you get that money the same day. You get that money in hand. It's a beautiful feeling. I'm an online seller, true and true, but I always love my in hand money.
Yeah.
I w- I would never complain, especially, when it's a bigger amount, because the bigger amount, the more you have to pay on these apps, or the more percentage you have to give away. So if you can get a big sale cash, take it. Take it. Cash is king, man. Cash is
Yes,
king.
it is. And I do, like you said, if it's a bigger amount, if it's on a platform, they do take a big old percentage of, these platforms take a percentage of the money that they need. So you usually don't make the amount that you're expecting. So, but that's the pros and
It,
cons of being a reseller. So it is what it is. All that matters is you get to sell, the customer's happy, you're happy. Let's move, and you move on to it and start listing again, so you can make some more sales like that.
absolutely.
So, but yeah, guys, this is another episode of Thrift Chronicles with me, Johnny O, and my co-host.
Games by Omar. Take it easy,
Until
everybody.
next time, guys.
All right.